watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
East Coast type weather here in the upper Midwest. Very warm and humid here in Minneapolis this afternoon as the Yankees begin a long road trip. As tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. Little bitty Yankees against the Minnesota Twins in a first game of a weekend series here at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. We have the opening game of this three-game series. The Yankees are coming off a very successful homestand. They won 5 out of 6, 2 out of 3 from the Seattle Mariners, and then they swept the Baltimore Orioles. And the formula was simple. Score early and often, and the Yankees did that.
Yeah, the Yankees did that. Jimenez was getting himself into some trouble early on. Looked like he might wiggle his way out of it. He did not, because Headley drives one to right center field. It's going to be a double. It scores 3. Alex Rodriguez rolling all over the ground. They were able to laugh at that afterwards. Jacoby Ellsbury comes back a little later on, extends the lead to 5-1. Solo shot, and then Stephen Drew has been struggling all year, but he rips one down the line, adds another run, and makes it 6-1. And Ellsbury just continued a fantastic afternoon, was a triple shy of the cycle.
Well, Ellsbury with the hitting. Let's turn to the pitching in tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank N.A. See what know-how can do for you. For the Minnesota Twins, a familiar face, Phil Hughes, former Yankee, gets the start. He's having a good year with an 8-6 record. Michael Pineda gets the start for the New York Yankees. One better than Hughes in the win column, 9-6, 3.77 ERA. Pineda had a mixed bag in his last start, Flash.
You know what? He looked pretty decent early on. He struck out a few, only 2 strikeouts in this ball game, and we're going to take a look at both of them. The overpowering fastball to pick up his first strikeout, and then he goes with the slider for the second one. The only problem for Pineda, Robinson Cano was in the lineup, and Robinson Cano hit 2 home runs. Both of them were 2-run shots, and that was the difference in the ball game. Pineda wasn't terrible, made a couple of mistakes to Cano, and he paid for it, and he took the loss.
We come back here on Yes. Meredith Marakovitz will talk to Jacoby Ellsbury, recently returned to the Yankees lineup. The leadoff hitter is doing some big things for the Yankees. That's coming up next.
On Yes, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees saw a lot of production from their order yesterday, 1 through 9, but Jacoby Ellsbury had an exceptional afternoon. He was 3 for 4 and a triple away from the cycle, not to mention he drove in 4 runs in the process. But it wasn't just yesterday. He's been swinging the bat better overall in that Orioles series. Take a look at the numbers: a .385 average, 5 hits to go along with his 4 runs scored and 4 runs batted in. I had the opportunity to catch up with him after yesterday's game, and he spoke about his approach.
Just try to be nice and quiet with my approach. Try to be selective at the plate, and fortunately I got some good pitches hit today.
Spent a little bit of time on the DL prior to the All-Star break. Do you feel like it took you a little bit of time to kind of get in the swing of things offensively?
I felt pretty good the last few days. As far as my timing, I feel like I just missed some pitches, but I feel like I'm right there.
Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Ken Singleton and John Flaherty coming your way next with lineups, first pitch, baseball, right here on Yes.
By La Quinta Inns and Suites. Wake up on the bright side at La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book now at lq.com. By Advanced Radiation Centers of New York. When it comes to fighting cancer, precision is everything. Call 844-2-RADIATION-DOC. And by Honda. Great deals are on at the Honda Summer Clearance Event. Well, we should have a good crowd on hand here tonight at Target Field. Opening game of a 3-game series. The fans continue to pour in here. The Yankees only stop here in Minnesota this year, weekend series. And right now we'll take a look at tonight's Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. And the Yankees come in red hot. Jacoby Ellsbury will lead it off. He'll be in center field. Brett Gardner will be in left, followed by the designated hitter Alex Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, Mark Teixeira at first base. Brian McCann doing the catching will bat fifth, followed by Carlos Beltran in right field. Chase Headley is at third base. Didi Gregorius is at short. And batting ninth at second base, Stephen Drew.
Well, Joe Girardi sends that lineup out against the old ex-Yankee Phil Hughes. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year as he's finishing up his warm-up tosses. 20th game, 8-6. The ERA just over 4. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. One thing about Phil Hughes, he will come right at you. He doesn't walk many, only .87 per 9. That leads the league, and it's the highest contact percentage in the league as well, 89.7%. He will give up his home runs, but he's been pitching better lately, and a big reason why he's been using his cutter a little bit more in on the lefties and up and away from the righties.
So Phil Hughes finishing his warm-up tosses. In fact, he's ready to go here as we're about ready to get baseball going here at Target Field. Let's check out the Twins on defense, presented by Geico. In the outfield, Rosario, Hicks, and Hunter. Plouffe, Santana, Dozier, and Mauer in the infield, with Kirk Suzuki doing the catching for the former Yankee Phil Hughes. Well, we mentioned the Yankees are red hot. They've won 4 in a row. They come in with a record of 53-41 and a 5.5 game lead over the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League Eastern Division. Here's Jacoby Ellsbury. He's riding a 3-game hitting streak. He had a 6-for-25 homestand. 3 of those hits came yesterday against the Baltimore Orioles as the Yankees finished off that 3-game sweep against their division rival. There are the numbers on the season. 308, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Of course, Ellsbury spent a lot of time on the disabled list earlier this season. Here's the first pitch of the game from Hughes, and it swung on, hit the air towards left field. Rosario over towards the line, and Eddie Rosario puts it away. 1 pitch and 1 out here in Minnesota. Well, we talked about the weather being warm and humid. Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It is 86 degrees, the wind at 11 miles per hour, the humidity up there at 62%. The forecast is partly cloudy. 86 warm degrees here in Minnesota. Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner 4-for-20 on the homestand. Maybe not the greatest of average on the homestand, but he has reached safely in each of his last 24 games. And what's new? A strike from Phil Hughes. The count is 0-1.
Phil Hughes, you know he's going to throw plenty of strikes. Fastball, curveball, cutter. Velocity down just a tick from last year when he really had a nice solid year here in Minnesota.
Next pitch, a breaking ball misses inside, a ball and a strike. The Twins do have a new pitching coach here as well as a new manager. And Neil Allen has encouraged Phil Hughes to throw more breaking balls and changeups as opposed to just fastball after fastball. And he's got a decent fastball, but the other stuff makes his fastball look better. That is just no, it hits the corner. Laz Diaz calling balls and strikes. Gardner didn't appreciate that one. Thought it might have been a bit outside, but the count is 1-2.
Yeah, usually it's not good when you're mentioning a home plate umpire's name early on, and Brett Gardner not happy with the location. It looks like it's off the plate.
So 1-2 on Gardner with Alex Rodriguez on deck. Next pitch is lined, and it's caught by the shortstop Danny Santana, and there are 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the top of the first, and it will bring up Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod had a 4-for-22 homestand, but 2 of the 4 hits were home runs, and he now has 20 on the season. Go along with 54 runs batted in. 16th time in his career he's hit at least 20 home runs in a season. And that is low and away for ball 1.
Kenny, I don't know if you saw the last one. He hit 453 feet.
I saw the highlight, and it's just now coming down.
Ooh.
The 1-0 pitch fouled off, and it's a ball and a strike. We can take a look at it again, and this is the home run that Flash is talking about against Baltimore.
It looked like a split that just spun up in the middle of the plate. Ends up going a long way, 453 feet.
Well, he's facing the pitcher tonight, Phil Hughes, who's allowed the most home runs in the league. He's given up 23. Line drive into center field. Alex Rodriguez is on with a 2-out single. First hit of the ball game as A-Rod trots down to first. Now, Flash, I'm interested in getting your approach to hitting somebody like Phil Hughes who throws a lot of strikes.
Well, I think once you leave the on-deck circle, Mark Teixeira now stepping into the batter's box, be ready right away because he's going to try to get ahead with a fastball. It's straight. You mentioned the home runs he can give up. If you're Mark Teixeira, you're ready to go right now looking for a first pitch fastball. Twins have the shift on. 3 infielders on the right side. And the first pitch is in there for a call strike. Teixeira had a tremendous homestand. He went 9 for 21 with a couple of home runs. 78 hits on the season, 44 of them for extra bases. 20 doubles and 24 home runs.
just off the corner, and it's a ball and a strike.
Brett Gardner saying that was the same pitch he threw to me, and Laz called it a strike. It's not a call to strike to Mark Teixeira. I always thought Phil Hughes, when we watched him as a New York Yankee, would have done well if he incorporated a sinking fastball. He was never able to do it.
In the dirt, knocked down by Suzuki, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
And instead of the sinker going down and away, he's incorporated the cutter that goes in on lefties, and of course that curveball that we saw for so many years.
Hughes, of course, a former #1 draft pick of the Yankees back in 2004. He's pitched well his last 8 starts. He's 4-1 with an earned run average just over 3. Pitch is lined, and this is going to be a base hit into right center field. Alex Rodriguez will turn at second and head for third. So the Yankees, back-to-back singles with 2 outs here in the first inning, have runners on the corners, and they are threatening. We're speaking of Phil Hughes, his career with the Yankees. I mentioned the fact that he's the #1 draft pick, 7 seasons, 56 and 50. And of course, he worked out of the bullpen in the 2009 season, was very effective for the Yankees, made the All-Star team in 2010 when he went 18-8. And then you can see the numbers as a starter and as a reliever in the major leagues.
Remember our colleague David Cohn, who's in the studio tonight, talking about that transition to the bullpen and how it might help him and help the club, and it certainly did in 09, winning the World Championship.
Well, the Yankees are threatening here in the first inning, but then again, you might say, what's new? They've scored more runs in the first inning than any other team in the major leagues. 86 runs in the first inning. In fact, that's the most runs that any team has scored in any inning in the major leagues.
Brian McCann should be well rested. John Ryan Murphy had the start yesterday. McCann did not have to worry about coming in late or pinch hitting. It's a full day off.
Line drive down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Just missed another run scoring opportunity for the Yankees.
Again, it's a fastball and another good swing, just foul. That's the one thing about Phil Hughes that we know, though. He's not afraid to keep coming right at you. Will pound the strike zone. A big-time fly ball pitcher. His career obviously going a better path pitching in a big park here in Minnesota than it did at Yankee Stadium. Trying to work his way out of some trouble here in the first.
He's already thrown 14 pitches this inning. That's usually his norm for any inning. As he throws the ball over the plate, the other team puts it in play. Right now the count 1-1. Alex Rodriguez at third, Mark Teixeira at first. Off speed pitch, drops in there for a call strike. And it's 1-2. And that's what McCann has done this year with runners in scoring position. He's been very effective. Off-speed pitch, grounded towards first. It's a fair ball. Joe Mauer has it, steps on the bag, and that'll do it for the Yankees. They failed to score here in the first inning. At the end of half an inning, the Yankees haven't scored. Here come the Twins. And the starting lineup is presented by your local Acura dealer. Leading off, All-Star Brian Dozier. He'll be at second base. Torii Hunter, the veterans, in right field. Joe Mauer will be at first base. Cleaning up is the rookie Miguel Sano. He'll be the DH. Trevor Plouffe will be at third. Eddie Rosario's in left field. Aaron Hicks is in center. Kurt Suzuki's doing the catching. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, Danny Santana.
That lineup for the Minnesota Twins gets to face Michael Pineda, finishing up his warm-up tosses. We'll look at his numbers on the year. His 19th start, 9-6, and the ERA a very respectable 3.77. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Torii Hunter dealers. Last time out, he didn't throw the ball terribly, but Robinson Cano got him a couple of 2-run shots. The difference in that ball game. Pitching on extended rest tonight on 5 days, which shouldn't be a problem. When he has 4 or 5 days, 9-3, 3.2. When he has over 5, his ERA balloons to over 6. And Torii Hunter, all the way back in 2011, is 2 for 3 against Michael Pineda. 2 of those hits were home runs in one game. I know it was a long time ago, Kenny, but pay attention to that matchup.
Well, you know Torii Hunter remembers. I don't know if Michael Pineda does. You know, pitchers like to forget those sort of things. Here's Brian Dozier, the all-star second baseman for the Minnesota Twins. You see the numbers, 20 home runs, primarily out of the leadoff spot. He's a dangerous high ball hitter. First pitch, he swings at it, grounded to Teixeira, and Pineda overcovering, and there's one out. Let's take a look at the rest of the Yankees on defense. Presented by Geico in the outfield. Brett Gardner's in left, Jacoby Ellsbury in center, and Carlos Beltran's around in right. Chase Headley at third, Didi Gregorius at short, Stephen Drew at second. You saw Mark Teixeira at first, and Brian McCann doing the catching for Michael Pineda. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Pineda. In fact, Flash, we have the 2 best pitchers in the league as far as control is concerned. You mentioned that Hughes less than 1 walk per 9 innings. Pineda just over 1 per 9. Here's the veteran Hunter, and he takes a pitch in there for a call strike.
Yeah, this is one of those ball games hitting instructors will tell you do not go up there taking. Look to swing the bat early. You're probably going to get a lot of first pitch strikes.
Torii Hunter recently turned 40 years old, and he lines a pitch into right field for a base hit. So there's the first hit for the Minnesota Twins, and it comes off the bat of Torii Hunter. Let's go to the Honda League leaders, and it's about the fewest walks per 9 innings. You see Hughes on top. This is in the major leagues now. Max Scherzer, Bartolo Colon, Michael Pineda, and Mark Buehrle, all control artists. Kind of surprised me that Scherzer's on there.
I was just thinking that.
He throws really hard. Pineda can get it up there as well. Here's Joe Mauer, former MVP, going back to 2009. He's got 1 on and 1 out. Mauer's been hot lately. First pitch in there for a call strike. Mauer's hitting 14 of his last 15 games at a 344 clip, and it's jumped his overall average up to 277. Got off to a slow start this year, but the former batting champion is kind of fighting his way back towards that 300 mark. He's got a runner at first with 1 out. And that pitch is just outside for a ball, 1-1. The Twins are coming off a road trip in which they went 2-4. It's kind of unusual the way the trip went. They won the first game. It was won by Ervin Santana. They lost 4 in a row, and they won the last game, which was won by Ervin Santana. And now they return home to take on the Yankees. Pitch is low for a ball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. We mentioned new pitching coach Neil Allen, of course, the new manager Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer, doing a fine job in his first year with these Twins. They are 51-44, 6.5 games behind the front-running Kansas City Royals in the Central Division. Mauer takes outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Only 4 Hall of Famers that became managers: Luke Appling, Ted Williams, Ryan Sandberg, who recently resigned as manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, and Paul Molitor.
Last time we saw Paul Molitor, he was sitting in seats right in front of us, Kenny, right, a couple of years ago, watching the game.
Yes, he was. He was scouting. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a strike, and the count is now 3-2.
Well, he's got a better seat right in that dugout, and as a team that's playing well, right in that wild card hunt.
I saw Molitor's first hit in the major leagues. First hand. We were playing him opening day in Milwaukee. He got a base hit. Little did I know he would add 3,318 more hits to the total. A Hall of Famer. Runners on the move, and the pitch is grounded slowly towards first. Teixeira has an easy play as he steps on the bag to get Mauer on the play. Torii Hunter moves into scoring position at second base. So 2 down now.
Well, you know, I was looking forward to this series to see what the Twins were all about. Kind of like the Houston Astros, where I didn't really get a good feel for them. Then you watch them for 4 days and you really enjoyed their club. Same thing with Minnesota. Paul Molitor, the type of player that he was, you expect them to play the game the right way.
Very impressed with Molitor's knowledge of the game at an early stage of his career with the Milwaukee Brewers. He and Robin Yount were a tremendous tandem at the top of the order. Both Hall of Famers, both 3,000 hitmen.
Could you get any simpler of a hitting approach than Paul Molitor had?
He was, let's put it this way, it wasn't much movement.
Nope.
It was more basically lift his foot up and swung the bat, and he got a lot of line drives.
Great hands.
And over 500 steals, too. Here's Miguel Sano, the rookie, designated hitter. And he'll take the first pitch for a call strike. The Twins are very impressed with Sano's eye at the plate. You saw his average at 286, which is pretty good, but he's also got a 419 on base percentage. He spent a lot of the year in the minor leagues. He missed all of last year with Tommy John surgery. He's a third baseman by trade, but he's DHing tonight. Pitch just misses the inside corner. Fastball at 92 miles an hour. Born in Dominican Republic. When you see these guys born in the 90s, makes you feel old. Signed by the Twins as an amateur free agent. Made his debut July 2nd, 2015. Number 2 prospect behind Byron Buxton, who is currently on the DL for the Twins. The 1-1 pitch, and that catches the outside corner. Just a hint of it. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Good pitch.
I think the greatest compliment you can get, Kenny, is when your hitting instructor, who's Tom Bernansky here in Minnesota, says, you know, tell me about your young kid. And he said, big league approach. Every at bat is a big league approach.
There's Bruno. Power hitter for these Twins and the Angels during his career. The 1-2 pitch, and it's high, 2-2. And you saw that Sano is from San Pedro de Macorís, same hometown as Cano, Robinson Cano. And they both work out together in the offseason. I mentioned the good eye. The youngster has reached in 13 of his last 15 games, so he's done a pretty good job. He's walked 12 times this month.
We've only seen him for 4 pitches here in this game, but 2 of them have been in really close pitches, and he has not offered. So to your point, Kenny, plate discipline.
Sometimes the youngsters want to come up here and just swing back. 2-2 pitch, and it's high for ball 3, full count.
And that's a pitch right there a young hitter is supposed to swing through, not have that plate discipline, go up there with a hacking style mentality. This is just up a little bit, able to lay off.
Sano, 6'5", 265 pounds. He's going to be a big third baseman. Runner at second with 2 outs. And here's the payoff pitch, and it's hit high in the air to center field. Ellsbury going back, didn't see it initially. Still going back, and this one is gone. A home run for Miguel Sano, and the Twins break out in front 2-0. And for Sano, his 3rd home run of the season. That was impressive.
Well, that is 265 pounds behind that swing right there. And off the bat, I didn't think that he got it. Take a look at the pitch. It's a slider and it's middle. He felt pretty good about it coming out of the box. And if you think back to that entire at bat, he laid off 3 pitches that were really close, did not offer, was patient. There's a slider middle of the plate, and Ellsbury goes back a long way. He's not going to have a play, and Minnesota gets on the board early.
Here's Trevor Plouffe, and Plouffe will take a first pitch in their first strike. Pineda thinking that's the long part of the ballpark. Maybe this will stay in, but as he clears the wall, he knows he's down 2-0. Pitch to Plouffe, and that's low, 1-1. 412 feet, just about straight away center field. In fact, we can see the ball from where we're sitting up here. It's on the green.
It's nothing new for you, Kenny.
Yeah. 1-1 on Plouffe. And that's high and away, ball 2.
You know, and part of my conversation with Tom Bernansky, I said, you know what, you're getting the Yankees are playing really well right now. And he said, that's great. We got a young team. We have to see how we match up. Well, early on, that's a big swing right there. A little confidence, 2 runs on the board.
Plouffe with a ground ball towards short for Gregorius, who scoops it up, throws it first, and that's it. But the Twins come away with 2 runs on 2 hits. A single by Hunter and a home run by Sano. At the end of 1, Minnesota has the lead, 2-0.
Full of possibilities, full of life. They have the Hall of Famer managing the club. Kenny already talked about a 51-44 Paul Molitor. Starting rotation has been a strength, 3.22 ERA this month. They are 4th in the American League overall from a rotation standpoint, and maybe could use a little bit of offensive help. 398 runs now, 80 home runs now, and maybe Sano is that offensive help that they need.
Carlos Beltran will lead it off for the Yankees here in the second. And the first pitch is a curveball that hangs high and outside for ball 1. Beltran, of course, recently coming off the disabled list, 3 for 8 since coming off the DL. And he swings, hits a ground ball foul down the first base side, just in front of first base coach Tony Pena. Beltran with 380 career home runs. He and Mark Teixeira sneaking up on that 400 home run mark. And he takes one high and inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3. Phil Hughes falling behind. You would think that Beltran would get something pretty good to hit right here. Leading off an inning, doesn't want to walk it. 3-1 pitch, hit on the ground, and it's a foul ball. And his first base umpire Jeff Nelson with the emphatic call at first base.
We'll get a great look at it right here. Ooh, that's a tough call. Did it clip that front corner? Jeff Nelson said no.
The Yankees have had 2 rockets down the first base line that have gone foul. McCann in the first inning. Now Beltran here in the second.
Another look at it from Carlos Beltran's angle.
Yep. A little too much hook. So now the count is full at 3-2. And here's the payoff pitch. And it's hit the air to center field. This is going to chase the center fielder Hicks back. He has room. And just in front of the warning track, he makes the catch for out number 1. So Phil Hughes might have been in a little danger of handing out his maybe only walk of the night. Instead, he gets a long fly ball off the bat of Beltran for out number 1. Hughes made 2 starts against the Yankees last year. He went 1-1. He beat the Yankees June 1st of last season at Yankee Stadium. The Twins won 7-2, but he lost to the Yankees here on July 3rd of last season. He gave up a season high 7 runs as the Yankees won 7-4. Here's Chase Headley. Headley had a 7-for-21 homestand. Had a productive day yesterday. Drove in 3 runs with a big bases clearing double.
That hit was so huge. It looked like Jimenez was going to work his way out of a bases loaded jam in the first. Headley comes up there, hammers one to right center.
Hammers one here, right to Dozier, who comes up with it on a hop, makes a nice play, and will throw Headley out for out number 2. The Yankees are hitting the ball hard here in the early going. 2 down.
You know, the Twins kind of getting back to that old Minnesota Twin style baseball. They play good defense. .985 fielding percentage, 5th in the American League. Nice play right there by Dozier to keep it in front.
And their pitchers don't walk anybody.
No.
Well, they don't walk very many. Let's put it that way. Year in and year out, they're among the leaders in fewest walks allowed.
Neil Allen.
He was once traded for Keith Hernandez. Cardinals and Mets deal. Pitched for the Yankees briefly.
He was the bullpen coach in 05, my last year with the Yankees. Great guy, knowledgeable coach.
Gregorius pops one in the air. Long run for Plouffe. He won't be able to get there as it hits off the railing of the Yankee dugout. 11 major league seasons as a pitcher with the Mets, the Cardinals, the Yankees, the White Sox, and Cleveland. 7 seasons as a coach with the Yankees. Yankees bullpen coach, as Flash mentioned. 8 seasons as a coach in the Tampa Bay organization, and named the Twins pitching coach under Paul Molitor November 25th of last year. Broken bat, and it's a foul ball. Gregorius is going to have to get a new piece of lumber to work with. Bat boy's right on top of it. It was a few years back that they passed the rule that the bat boy would always have to have one of your bats in hand in the on deck circle. Before that, they used to have to run back to the bat rack, search for your bat. Took time.
Probably picked the wrong one, so you had to go back to the bat rack again.
Exactly. And they've straightened all that out. First, they had to go to the Bat Boys Union. See if they were okay with it. Off-speed pitch is fouled off, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Everything's negotiable. Gregorius had his first 3-hit game of the season yesterday. And the 1-2 pitch is outside 2-2. Of course, when Hughes was a Yankee, Gregorius was an Arizona Diamondback, and he hit his first major league home run at Yankee Stadium off Phil Hughes. That was April 18th of 2013. Hit hard. Santana showing the glove work. The throw to first is in time, and that'll do it. The Yankees hit 3 balls hard this inning and come up empty. So we played 1.5 here in Minnesota. Santana makes the play. official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. And here is our conversation for this evening. Do you think Major League Baseball's non-waiver trading deadline should be later than July 31st? Why or why not? And Tim Knorr 61 says no. If the deadline is later, the teams would miss out on some production from the players they are renting. I kind of feel that's true, and I kind of feel it. I like the way I like it the way it is right now.
Well, it puts pressure on organizations to make a decision. Are you a buyer or are you a seller?
Here's rookie Eddie Rosario, the left fielder, and the first pitch from Pineda is in there for a strike here in the bottom of the second. Twins leading 2-0.
And with all the wild card situations now, it's tough for clubs to decide. Is Detroit a contender for a wild card? You would think so, but they're talking about making some deals.
Rosario foul tips it at the plate. Got a piece of Brian McCann. The count is 0-2. And they're talking big names. David Price, Yoenis Cespedes might be on the move. Of course, their GM David Dombrowski is one of the best in the game, so I'm sure he's looking for players that would help the Tigers either now or in the future. If you get David Price, I mean, you're going to have to give something up. Rosario's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. The rookie left fielder has hit .350 here at home this year. And all 4 of his home runs are here at Target Field. Lifted in the air towards left field. Going to be a long run, and Gregorius can't make the play. Rosario hustling will move to second. Nobody covering third as Headley retreats. That ball hit off the glove of Gregorius. We'll see how they score it. But it looked like he had ball in glove, and it just didn't stay in there.
It looked like he jumped right at the last minute. We get a great look here at how much range he has and how much ground he covers, but right at the end he jumps. I'm not quite sure why.
Looked like he overran it and had to reach back.
Kenny, you could talk better than I can. When you're running and your head is moving and you jump, I mean, that could have part of it.
Well, it certainly didn't work out here. And it looks as though that's going to be scored as a 2-base hit. So Rosario is at second with nobody out for the Twins here in the second. And it'll bring up Aaron Hicks. Hicks, the center fielder, has had an on-again, off-again relationship with switch hitting. He walked into Ron Gardenhire, the previous manager's office, and said, I don't want to switch hit anymore. So he went strictly right-handed. They sent him to the minor leagues to work on it. Didn't really work out. Then he went back to switch hitting. Now he's back in the big leagues. Hicks hitting .257, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He has spent some time in the minors. It's going to be a very interesting situation when Byron Buxton comes back, because Buxton is a center fielder and the #1 prospect for the Twins. Pitch is swung on and missed, and it's a ball and a strike. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. We're talking about Buxton, 15-day disabled list, a sprained thumb, and Ricky Nolasco, starting pitcher, 60-day DL, right ankle impingement. A look at Rosario at second. So Hicks is back to switch hitting. And actually, he's done much better this time around. Actually, it was his father who got him started switch hitting. His dad was in the minor leagues, was strictly a right-handed hitter, and got hit in the head and told his son, if you want to be a pro ball player, you're going to be a switch hitter. So you have that much more time to get out of the way. And the ball is popped up. That is way up. Now let's see. It's going to be Headley or Gregorius. Gregorius calls him off, and this time he makes the catch for out #1.
So, Kenny, I know how tough it is to hit just from one side of the plate. I can't imagine having to worry about both sides. But if mentally he's thinking that way, that, you know what, I want to give it up, it's too tough, that's got to be half the battle, doesn't it?
Yeah, but to me, if you have breaking balls coming into you, it's a lot easier.
Sure.
And his dad's right. I mean, you have a little bit more time, anything up and in, to get out of the way when you're not on the same side as the pitcher's arm. Here's Kurt Suzuki, the veteran catcher. Last year made the All-Star team. Not having that type of year this year. .227 with 3 home runs. Still very solid defensively. He's 1 for his last 15. He's got Rosario at second with 1 out. And the first pitch misses inside for ball 1. "31 pitches thus far for Pineda, with 1 out here in the second inning. And he steps off. You know, one thing about the Twins, they've been very strong at home this year. This has been their sanctuary as far as winning is concerned. They are 31-16 here at home, just 20-28 on the road. They're coming off a 2-4 road trip. Pitch is lined over Pineda and into center field for a base hit. Rosario rounding third. The throw is not in time, and the Twins lead 3-0. So an RBI single for Kurt Suzuki, and the Twins are up by 3. That just missed Michael Pineda.
Yeah, this will wake you up a little bit if you're Michael Pineda. Rocket right back up the middle. Fastball out over the plate. That ball got to center field so quickly. I thought Jacoby Ellsbury was going to have a play on Rosario. The throw will take a look at it. Brian McCann realizes it's not going to happen. He goes out to get it. Minnesota Twins add another run.
Third base coach Gene Glynn did not hesitate. He sent Rosario home even though there was 1 out. So 1 out now. Suzuki at first, and the number 9 hitter, Danny Santana, the shortstop. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Well, one of those situations there. Didi Gregorius can't make the play. Give the Twins a little gift, and they take advantage of it. RBI base hit by Suzuki.
Little chopper to the right side by Pineda. Drew to Teixeira. Suzuki moves to second. There's now 2 down. Santana's retired. So the lineup will turn over for Brian Dozier. Now Dozier, I mentioned, has been primarily the leadoff hitter this year. He has scored 70 runs in 93 games. He's been very productive. He's hit more like a hitter that would bat in the middle of the lineup. He leads the league in extra base hits. 27 doubles, 3 triples, and 20 home runs. A lot of production out of the leadoff spot for Minnesota. And the breaking ball is in there for a call strike.
Well, he took his act to the All-Star game in Cincinnati and hit a home run there. You see the resume. Drafted by the Twins, 2009 in the 8th round. First Twins second baseman's 2020 seasons. An All-Star this year.
Anything that's up in the zone, he usually puts a very good swing on. That's too high, and it's 1-1. So Pineda and the Yankees have fallen behind here. This is the first game of what will be a 10-game road trip. A swing through Minnesota here, weekend series, then 4 games in Texas, and it's capped off with 3 in Chicago against the White Sox. Pitch is fouled back to the screen. Ball and 2 strikes on Dozier.
Well, we've seen some outings. Michael Pineda doesn't have his good slider, and that was not a good pitch right there. Kind of just spun right in the middle of the plate and got away with a mistake to a guy who's having an excellent year power-wise. Brian McCann, you want to call timeout. Such a bad pitch right out of his hand. They got away with a break.
That's usually the key pitch for him, isn't it? The slider.
You could tell pretty much early on in his starts. If he has it early, he's going to be dominant. If not, he's going to have to pitch a little bit.
The 1-2 pitch is popped up behind home plate. McCann coming back for a look, but that's all he's going to get. It's out of play.
think one thing we know, Kenny, the bullpen will be a factor in this one. 38 pitches already. He got himself out of the second inning yet.
It appears that everything that's been hit hard off Pineda has fallen in for the Twins. Everything that's been hit hard for the Yankees has been caught by the Twins. Ball's hit off of Phil Hughes. That's the way it's going here early in this ball game. Pitches popped up once again. This one might be in play. McCann coming over near the Twins dugout. He has a beat on it and he makes the catch, and that'll be it. But the Twins add another run here in the second inning. At the end of 2, it is 3-0 Minnesota.
Yes, Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, Phil Hughes back out for the top of the third on our Audi scoreboard. Twins jumped out to an early 3-0 lead. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Yankees. Stephen Drew, Ellsbury, and Gardner. Hughes 31 pitches already. First pitch strike with his fastball. Drew 1 for 8 on the homestand. The one hit a double yesterday and an RBI. 12 home runs, 26 RBIs on the year.
He kind of falls into the same category as Teixeira, maybe not quite as prolific, but 45 hits, 24 of them for extra bases, including the 12 home runs.
Well, we have 2 second basemen in this series showing plenty of power. This one's not going to find the seats as it is popped up to his counterpart, Brian Dozier, at second base. Easy play. With one down, he'll be back to the top of the lineup. Jacoby Ellsbury, a fly ball to left field, first pitch of the ball game. Start watching his at bats now after the time on the disabled list. Did not have a lot of rehab at bats in the minor leagues. He's starting to figure it out now. Yesterday, big day, the home run, a double, and a single. The at bats are starting to get a lot more consistent, Kenny.
Well, anytime you hit a home run, which he did yesterday, you start to feel a little bit more confident. That you could see he was a little tentative when he first came back with his swing, but now, as you said, starting to get it together. And if he regains the form that he had early in the season, he and Gardner, well, those guys are something.
Well, that's what it's starting to feel like now again. You know, the 2 guys at the top who are locked in, all the speed, the power in the middle, and then you think about yesterday's ball game, all the production from the bottom of the lineup.
Hughes wanted that last pitch, it just missed. slow curve. It kind of around the plate. Didn't get the call from Blas Diaz.
2-1 fastball. Hit to the shortstop Santana. 2 quick outs for Phil Hughes. A 2 down will bring up Brett Gardner. 0 for 1. A soft line drive to the shortstop Santana's first at bat. Also a pitch off the plate that was called a strike that Brett did not seem too happy about. The batting average now at .295.
He is up there among the run scorers, leaders in run scoring. 66 of them. Maybe you sensing the Yankees are looking first pitch fastball, and he's going with breaking ball to lead it off to Gardner.
All those pitcher catcher meetings that I was part of, you always talked about second time through the lineup.
Okay.
First time through, we want to establish the fastball. Hughes did that, and you mentioned a lot of balls hit hard. Now we're starting to see the curveball, an occasional changeup, and the cutter. We're going to get a look at a changeup here. That is not his best pitch, trying to show it a little bit to some of the Yankee hitters, and he misses.
By my count, 5 balls been hit hard by the Yankees, but they only have 2 hits. And A-Rod's wasn't really hit all that hard, but it's still a hit. Teixeira's was hit right on the nose. You can see the painted fingernails from Suzuki.
There's a cutter rolled over, going to be foul. That's really the pitch they talk about, Kenny. The cutter that he's been throwing lately, and the numbers have gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, catchers will paint their fingernails, and sometimes the pitchers. Phil Hughes wears contacts, doesn't he? I think he does.
Not sure.
Yeah, well, and you know sometimes they can't see the signs. They can't. It's a little more easy to detect.
It's like another cutter in. Brett Gardner quick hammers it foul.
I wonder if Yogi Berra ever painted his nails back in the day.
I would find that one hard to believe. But you know, there's actually a company out there, Kenny, that has these little stickers you can put on your fingernails.
Really?
Yeah. So instead of putting like the nail polish or whiteout or whatever you want to do, these 5 little stickers you put on your fingernails. Now that would drive me crazy.
My wife has those.
Hard shot right back at Phil Hughes. Flips over to first base, and it'll be an easy 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. And again, another ball that was hit hard by the New York Yankees. Not a whole lot to show for it. Nice fielding play, easy flip. The Twins lead 3-0. Good year. 14 home runs, 49 RBIs, and he's always been a great second half player. .285 career batting average after the All-Star game. And he has 206 home runs as a Minnesota Twin. He needs one more to tie the great Kirby Puckett for 6th on the all-time home run list.
Yeah. Hall of Famer. Yeah. Spent his first 9 seasons as a Minnesota Twin. Here's a tribute to Kirby Puckett.
One thing I didn't mention in that hitter scouting report, just an all-around good guy.
Yeah. Certainly brings a lot of leadership to this Twins ball club and their young outfielders.
Torii had a base hit his first at bat going the other way. He rolls one over. Headley's going to cut it off. Easy play for him. 1 down.
When I think of Kirby Puckett, I think of Jack Buck's great call in the 6th game of the World Series, and when Puckett hit a home run to win the game against the Cardinals, and we'll see you tomorrow night. That's a great call. Hall of Fame broadcaster Jack Buck. Joe Buck's dad.
He'll be followed by Davis.
Ooh,
And then
there it is.
into deep left center from Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Fantastic call. And there is a statue. Another tribute to Kirby Puckett, who was one of the most popular players in Twins history. These are Kirby Puckett bears that they used to hand out here.
Good changeup right there. You know what? We saw that video highlight, and there's the resume for Kirby Puckett. 12 seasons, 2-time world champion, 10-time All-Star, and throw in the Gold Gloves. Hall of Famer. Now, Target Field is beautiful. Gorgeous. Not the Metrodome, how it was rocking during those World Series. Tough place to play going in the Metrodome.
Let's put it this way. The noise level was off the charts in there. In that particular World Series, the home team won every game. So it was definitely a home field advantage for both the Cardinals in St. Louis and the Twins here in Minnesota. And that shows you how important to have that 7th game is.
Pineda quickly ahead 0-2 to Joe Mauer. Ground ball to Stephen Drew. 2 up, 2 down here in the 3rd. Our Audi A3 scoreboard, 3-0 Twins. Only 2 hits for the Yankees. Hit a lot of balls hard, not a lot to show for it.
You know, with the All-Star game taking on new meaning with the American League winning this year, that means the American League team that represents the American League in the World Series will have the 7th game at home if necessary. But to me, you know, they don't talk about it very often, but starting the World Series in your home park, that's almost as important.
Sure it is.
As the 7th game.
Trying to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
Miguel Sano, 2-run home run dead central, his first at bat. 3rd home run of the season for him. 11 RBIs.
There were those who thought that Miguel Sano might be ready for the big leagues last year, but we mentioned the fact that in spring training hurt his elbow and needed Tommy John surgery, missed the whole season.
Pineda trying to bounce back with a clean 3rd, has given up 2 in the 1st, the Sano home run. Suzuki RBI base hit in the 2nd. And a good slider right there for a strikeout, and a nice inning, a nice bounce back inning for Michael Pineda. A couple of ground balls, a strikeout. Twins lead 3-0. Yankees take on the division rival Red Sox. The first 18,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a Yankees insulated lunch bag, courtesy of PC Richard & Son. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankee Clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Division rival Red Sox having a tough year.
They've lost 8 straight.
Yankees, after that good series against Baltimore, a little separation in the American League East.
Yep, Boston's lost 8 in a row.
Phil Hughes jumps out quickly on our Lincoln scoreboard. 3-0 Twins. Hughes quickly ahead in the count. 0-2 on Alex Rodriguez. Had a base hit with 2 outs in the first inning. Yankees had something going, couldn't cash in.
I was talking to Alex today, and remember in spring training he was talking about he wanted to play some third base. This is the best thing to happen to him this year, was being the DH. He was talking about the rest, doesn't get beat up by playing in the field, concentrate on his hitting.
You know, there are some hitters who can't transition to that designated hitter. They can't find that routine that works for them. Obviously not an issue for Alex Rodriguez. The 2-2 from Phil Hughes misses badly.
Going back in the day, I didn't make that transition. The last 3 years of my career I was a DH, and I didn't particularly like it at first. I thought that it would remove me from the team somewhat, but then I began to realize they don't give these DH jobs to anybody. Yeah,
right.
They're usually veteran players.
3-2 gets Alex Rodriguez looking on the inner half. First strikeout for Phil Hughes.
Just clips the inside corner. I don't know if that was a cutter, you know, sort of a front door cutter that is meant to look inside, then move and catch the inside corner. And Alex Rodriguez is caught looking. Yep, he knew it. And he's headed back to the dugout. It's the first strikeout for Hughes.
With 1 down to bring up Mark Teixeira, had a base hit his first at bat. Minnesota Twins, like pretty much every other team in Major League Baseball, employing the shift on Mark.
I know of at least 24 times that shift didn't work. He went over it.
Should get a pretty good pitch to hit right here. 2-0. Talked about all the strikes that Phil Hughes throws, and he misses there. 3-0 count. It's a good look at the shift.
Well, you can see the grass, different colorings out there. A lot of new sod has been laid here at the Target Field. While the Twins were on the road, there was a Kenny Chesney concert, and kind of beat up the outfield grass and some of it around the infield. So that is all new sod that's been laid down. In fact, the Kenny Chesney concert, because people were on the field as well, was the most attended event in this stadium's history.
Phil Hughes has worked his way back to a full count. A hard shot right under the glove of Dozier to right field. Mark Teixeira will be on base again. We'll see how they score that. We'd have to imagine that would be an error. And you wonder if that turf had anything to do with it.
Replace your divots. And we'll see how they scored. You got to remember, Dozier's an all-star. Now, I'm not saying he's Robbie Alomar, who could not get an error in Cleveland back in the day. And they have scored that.
It's a base hit.
Yeah, they're giving him a hit.
Well, play if he makes the play. You see, he comes up short. I think he thought he was going to slide a little bit more.
Maybe he thought the ball was going to come up a little bit more.
Either way, Mark Teixeira will take it. He's on base with 1 down. Bring up Brian McCann. With a ground ball to Joe Mauer, his first at bat. 15 home runs, 58 RBIs for McCann. I mentioned had a full day off yesterday. swing and a miss.
Good changeup from Phil Hughes. In my discussion with Alex Rodriguez today, Brian McCann's name came up, and Alex said he was very confident that McCann would bounce back and have a better year this year because he knows the league, knows the pitchers, and he's a much better hitter than he showed last year. He's driven in 37 runs in his last 44 games.
Well, I think we saw that starting last year. This one hit out to right center field, carrying a little bit. Hicks on the track, going to make the play. Got a little jet stream going out to right center field.
Yeah, that was a just miss. Didn't quite drive it, got underneath it, and Hicks was able to go to the warning track a couple of steps from the wall and make the catch. Looked like another changeup that was up and out over the plate. Didn't quite get on top of it to drive it, and I think he knew it. There is Hicks, who makes the catch in the middle of the warning track. Very fine defensive outfielder.
Getting back to McCann, we saw his second half last year. The numbers got a little bit better, and I also thought, Kenny, his body language and the way he was carrying himself got better. Carlos Beltran, first pitch swinging, popped up. It's going to be in foul territory, and Plouffe makes the play. So base hit by Mark Teixeira, but Phil Hughes throwing up some zeros. Twins lead 3-0. Powered by BP Gasoline with Invigorate, the high-quality gas you can depend on. Visit BP today. And by your Tri-State BMW centers. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Beautiful night here in Minnesota. Michael Pineda back out for the bottom of the fourth. Trailing 3-0. Plouffe, first pitch swinging, slaps it right back up the middle. That'll be a base hit for him to lead off the fourth.
Plouffe had the big hit yesterday. 3-0 victory over the Angels at Angel Stadium. And it was his 3-run homer that was the difference in the ballgame.
Yeah, since the All-Star break, the Twins have been struggling to score some runs. But you're right, Kenny. Trevor Plouffe, really the one guy in the lineup, has been swinging the bat well after the break. Our Lincoln scoreboard. 3-0 Twins. 5 hits. 3 for the Yankees. With Plouffe on first, it'll be Eddie Rosario up. First pitch swinging, hammers one into right field. Plouffe on his way to third. Rosario going to second. To throw by Beltran. A good one. Not in time.
Well, the Twins are in business again here in the fourth inning. A single by Plouffe and Rosario with his second double. Well, he turns on this one on the inner half and drives it. Beltran gets over, makes a pretty good throw to second, but Rosario has good speed, and the youngster from Puerto Rico is in there at second with his second double of the game in his 11th of the season.
Well, Pineda in some trouble here, second and third, nobody out. Aaron Hicks, who popped up the shortstop his first at bat. Yankees playing the infield back. They will concede the run. Hicks first pitch swinging, fouls it off. The Twins here in the fourth inning going up there swinging the bats early. 255, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs for Hicks.
Well, the Twins were a team that nobody really picked to do much in the Central Division. In fact, I think most people picked them for last place. But as we start action tonight, they are 7 games over 500.
The 0-1 to Hicks. Hits this ball hard to right field. Beltran back, and he makes a play. Plouffe will score easily. Rosario goes to third. A sacrifice fly and an RBI for Hicks. And the Twins add on here in the fourth.
Yeah, another ball hit on the nose as Hicks looked at first he might have an extra base hit over the head of Beltran, but Carlos got back just in front of the warning track and is going to haul this one in. A nice catch. He measures it nicely. The last leap leaving the ground, comes up with it, and the Twins get another run on the sac fly, and also Rosario moves over to third. And another hard hit ball as Pineda reacts. The Yankees put this one in the win column. It's going to be on the comeback trail.
Well, the Yankees play the infield in now with Suzuki up at the plate. He's first pitch swinging, fouls one off, and that's going to find the seats.
You know, we've seen that a lot tonight, and I think it's because both pitchers come in with a reputation of throwing strikes, getting ahead on the counts. So they're not, the hitters are not wasting any time. They're going after that first thing smoking towards the middle of the plate.
Well, Brian McCann's going to go out and have a little talk with Michael Pineda. Suzuki has not had a great year offensively, Kenny. You mentioned he was an all-star last year, but swinging a little bit better at home lately. 359 his last 11 games here at Target Field. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Rosario takes his lead off at third. The infield defense is in. It's an 0-1 to Suzuki. Swing and a miss.
You talked about Suzuki maybe not hitting as well as he did last year, but his defense has always been steady. You know, talking to Tony Pena over the years, he has always ranked Suzuki as one of the better defensive catchers in the league. Says he's very good at blocking balls in the dirt. And when Tony Pena says something like that, you have a tendency to listen.
Yeah, you pay attention.
Yeah, he's a former Gold Glove winner himself.
Well, Suzuki trying to get it done offensively here as Tony Pena looks on. An 0-2 pitch from Pineda up in the zone, and Suzuki takes care of it. Drops in front of Ellsbury. Rosario scores. And Michael Pineda does not look sharp tonight, and that was a bad 0-2 pitch to Kurt Suzuki, and he took advantage.
Well, we might get some action in the Yankee bullpen here. This is Flash called it. The target's away. Pitch is up and in the middle. Suzuki at least knows he's going to get a fly ball out of that, get another run home. Up in the zone, and gets on top of it and drives in his second run of the night. He's 2 for 2.
Well, as a hitter, you're behind in the count 0-2. You think you're going to have to battle, and you get a freebie, Kenny, right there for you to take advantage of. Pineda just does not look sharp tonight. 5 runs already. 7 hits for the Twins. The number 9 hitter, Danny Santana. His first pitch swinging been a common theme here in the fourth. Santana ground ball is first at bat.
Well, they're moving around like but the call has not come yet for anybody to start warming up. The guys in the bullpen can sense when that phone's going to ring.
Well, there were certain guys down there, Chris Capuano, Pinder, long relief type guys. They know that that phone rings. Pinder's getting loose. That phone rings can be one of those guys. Pineda again ahead in the count 1-2. We'll see if he can finish off Santana.
I think maybe one reason why the phone has not rung so far, because Joe Girardi's watching his team hit the ball, and they've hit it hard all night long. Maybe he feels that the Yankees can get back into this one. They just haven't had any luck and nothing to show for the pitches that were hit on the nose.
1-2 to Santana, and that misses. Well, the Yankees coming off a sweep of Baltimore at home. I thought yesterday was one of those games, Kenny. This Tanaka was fantastic offensively, contributions from everybody. They're off to a slow start here tonight in Minnesota. Like you said, they're going to come back. Down 5 already as Pineda strikes out Santana. Only his second strikeout of the evening for Pineda. Larry Rothschild, Joe Girardi looking on, figuring out the next move. 2 outs to bring up Brian Dozier. Dozier 0 for 2, ground ball fly out to 20 home runs and 53 RBIs.
You know, you mentioned yesterday's ball game, and the Yankees won by a score of 9-3. And that was one of those games where the Yankees scored early, what, 4 runs in the first inning? All right. So Joe Girardi's thinking, well, you know, Tanaka's been pitching well, and the game kind of went by the script. Tonight's the type of game where he's going to have to manage a lot
Sure
more.
is, yep.
You know, get an early lead, let Tanaka do his thing. The Yankees scored early and often and kind of put it away. Tonight, they're down 5-0. How much longer does he stay with Pineda? It's obvious in the early going here the Twins have scored in 3 of the first 4 innings that he doesn't really have it.
Big swing and a miss by Dozier.
That was a changeup. He was out in front.
I wonder if Joe Girardi lets Pineda go a little bit here. You got a long road trip. You don't have any days off on this trip. CC Sabathia pitching tomorrow. Pineda ahead in the count 1-2. So he can work his way out of trouble here in the 4th, and he does. Another strikeout for Pineda. The Minnesota Twins add 2 more. They lead 5-0. The Yankees are going to have a little comeback if they want to win this one.
Studio tonight, and they'll be on the post-game show along with Meredith Marakovitz. Yankees trailing 5-0. We look at the American League Central standings. Twins 6.5 behind. Tigers a game below 500, followed by the Indians and then the White Sox. Phil Hughes working with a 5-run cushion, and Chase Headley takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Headley grounded out hard to the second baseman Brian Dozier on a Bigelow T scoreboard. There it is, 5-0 Minnesota. We're in the top of the 5th. And a slow roller this time. Dozier charges, throws on the run, and there's one out here in the 5th inning.
Phil Hughes' last 8 starts has thrown a lot better. The ERA just over 3, and now a 5-run lead against his former team. Guy who usually doesn't beat himself, walk too many, will go right at you. You got to put the ball in play and slug against them.
One out for Didi Gregorius, who hit a hot shot to Santana at short, and he gloved it and threw out his opposite number. Gregorius, that was in the 2nd inning. Takes first pitch, and it's poured in there for a call strike. Pitch is looped down the third base line. It's going to be foul, and it's 0-2. You know, I think Alex Rodriguez has fulfilled the same role this year that Torii Hunter has done for the Minnesota Twins. The veteran players who kind of mentor the young players on their teams. And Alex, I think, has done a very good job with Didi Gregorius. Remember earlier this year, he and Didi were out there about 3 o'clock in the afternoon just working on plays at shortstop. Little roller to the left side. And Santana will throw out Gregorius for out number 2. Let's go back to our Yes Network studios and Jack Curry. Jack. Wow, that might be a season high for Scherzer, giving up the 5 runs, and the Pirates with the lead, as Jack said, 7-5. That game now in the 7th inning. 2 outs, nobody on for Stephen Drew. Drew popped out to second, and he takes the first pitch high and away for ball 1. Phil Hughes looking for his 9th win of the year against 6 losses. Ball is hit down the left field line, and it's going to be a souvenir. One thing we saw recently, Brendan Ryan started against a left-hander, and the Yankees will face a left-hander tomorrow in Tommy Malone. That misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Ball hit in the air to center field. A lazy fly ball for Hicks. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. So we played 4.5. The Twins have the lead.
Time for tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. The Yankees will send left-hander CC Sabathia to the mound, who's coming off a nice start. He feels as though he's really found something with that cutter to right-handed batters. Meanwhile, he'll be opposed by lefty Tommy Malone. Now, guys, something interesting that Joe Girardi said earlier today. After this series, they do not have their rotation set quite yet. They have been giving some thought as to whether or not they're going to bring somebody up for a spot start and maybe give guys another day's rest, but no decisions have been made on that. So we know who's pitching tomorrow in CC Sabathia, and then Sunday it'll be Nathan Eovaldi. After that, not quite sure.
Well, we will find out once the Yankees get to Texas if Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild make an adjustment to the rotation. Right here, Torii Hunter's leading off in the top of the 5th inning. On our Bigelow T scoreboard, it is 5-0 Minnesota. You might have noticed there was a bottle in front of Meredith. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Now, Meredith actually had a issue with a shoe today. Is that what happened?
A little bit of an incident walking around downtown today. My sandal broke, and I was walking, and it was just kind of like flapping there, and I tried to fix it on the bus with eyelash glue, which didn't really hold particularly well. But luckily, the fine people here in Minnesota had something called Gorilla Glue, which I then glued prior to going down in the clubhouse and doing some pregame stuff. So I think we're all good now, Kenny, but my fingers are still crossed.
All right. Well, keep that bottle with you just in case the other shoe has an issue as well. 2-1 pitch is looped down the right field line. It's going to be foul.
We had a blowout.
Yeah.
Now, Kenny, be honest with me, because I was honest with Meredith. I didn't know there was anything known as eyelash glue. Did you?
Have I ever heard of it? I haven't used it, but I've heard of it.
I have never heard of it. I learned something new today. You know, they say you learn something new every day at the ballpark, and thanks to Meredith, I learned about that.
Pitch to Hunter is swung on and missed. Strike 3. 4th strikeout for Michael Pineda, his 3rd in the last 2 innings. Eyelash glue. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer and his manager have something in common. They both went to the same high school in St. Paul, Minnesota. Cretin-Durham. Molitor was actually all-state in baseball and basketball. And Mauer was a football player. He was a quarterback and had a chance to go to Florida State, but the Twins drafted him number 1. Molitor was the number 1 draft pick of the Milwaukee Brewers. And of course, St. Paul right across the river, the Mississippi River from Minneapolis.
See, the one thing that the Brewers and the Twins knew about both of these guys is they'd be able to play in cold weather, right? That wouldn't be an issue.
Not at all.
Beginning of the year in Milwaukee, it's not the warmest places in the world.
I remember opening the season there one year, and I was wondering why we did it. That pitch misses to Mauer, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And that is Joe Mauer tossing a TD pass, and that's Mauer playing basketball, nothing but net. And that's Mauer in his sport of choice. Oh, you know that was a home run. They gave it to him. That pitch is fouled off by Mauer. The count is 2-2.
Well, he's just showing off, right? Football, basketball, baseball, yeah, whatever.
He could do it all. And then become a number 1 draft pick. It's a good thing when you have homegrown talent on your major league team. Fans can relate. 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's fouled off. Mauer spoils another one. There's Mauer, of course, has been an all-star. He's been an MVP. Started out as a catcher, had some knee issues. Twins moved him to first base. Always been a high on base percentage hitter. Just outside, ball 3. Full count now. So I guess over at Cretin-Durham, he was BMOC, big man on campus.
No doubt.
Pineda faced with a payoff pitch to the Twins' #3 hitter. It's on the way, and it's fouled back. Let's check out the career at home ballparks. The Metrodome, 357 games, almost as many here at Target Field. Still a 300 hitter in both these ballparks, but look at the differential in home runs. The RBIs are about the same. The Metrodome was much more homer friendly. I never played here, but I can tell you I really did like the Metrodome. Didn't have to deal with some of the weather conditions here early in the season. Pineda with a long look at the signs. Now he's ready. The 3-2 pitch. And it's line foul down the left field line. We'll do it all over again.
Mauer has never really been known as a home run hitter. He had that 1 year in 09. He had 28.
And that was over at the Metrodome, which is now the site of the new football stadium.
Is that right?
It's under construction. Not ready for this season. They're going to have to play outdoors this year. Another pitch is fouled off. They're going to play outdoors. Speaking of the Vikings, they're going to play outdoors at the University of Minnesota, just like they did in the old days, when Bud Grant did not allow his team to have heaters. In the Minnesota winters, he said if we have them, then the other team has them, and we lose the home field advantage.
Wow, old school.
Yeah, very old. No, that was cold school. Yeah. 3-2 pitch again, and it's fouled off by Mauer.
Who's going to win this battle? It's quite a battle right now. Brian McCann going to go give Pineda a little bit of a break. 10 pitches already.
This discussion, does that mean they want to go somewhere else here?
I think it's more just to give him a little bit of a breather. He's in a tough battle here with Mauer, and this is one of those things mentally that can affect either the rest of this ball game. It's not going well for Pineda already, but like to win this battle, get that second out, and try to get your club back in the dugout.
Well, once again, the 3-2 pitch. A little chopper right back towards the mound. Pineda bounces off, comes up with it, makes the throw. It's high, but Teixeira hauls it in for out number 2. Mark Teixeira with that Gold Glove like play. He is smooth as silk around first.
Yeah, you see Pineda works underneath a little bit. Throw is high, and Mark Teixeira able to keep his foot on the bag. Full extension. Another look on Yes Mo. You buy your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer.
Teixeira not only with the glove work, but with the footwork. That's very important for a first baseman. Well, we're going to take a look at Miguel Sano's home run in Yes Mo. Believe me, it got over the wall a lot faster than that. And it's brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. So 2 outs, nobody on, and Sano's at the plate. That home run, by the way, came in the first inning, and it was Sano's 3rd of the year. And he'll take a pitch low and inside for ball 1. We're in the 5th inning. The Yankees behind the 8-ball right from the start. The Twins scored in the 1st. They scored in the 2nd. They scored in the 4th, and they lead 5-0. Little number again, right back to Pineda. A little easier this time as he throws out Sano, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Michael Pineda. It's on to the bottom of the 5th. Yankees need to get going offensively. They trail 5-0. Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag yes Data Strong fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Denise Molinaro and a couple of Yankee fans. Smiles on their faces. They are the Data Strong fans. Well, fans of the game tonight. 6th inning. Top of the order for the Yankees facing Phil Hughes, who so far has allowed just 3 hits. Has held the Yankees off the scoreboard. Ellsbury fakes a bunt, takes a pitch for a called strike. Ellsbury, Gardner, and Rodriguez for the Yankees here in the 6th. Hit on the ground, and it is a foul ball. It's called by Jeff Nelson.
You get a feeling if you're the Yankees and you're going to make a little run against Phil Hughes, it's going to happen here in the 6th. 3rd time through the lineup. The leadoff guy at the plate, try to get something going here. 71 pitches for Hughes.
Well, you're definitely going to have to swing the bats because he's not going to stick a walk in there. It's very rare that he hands one out. Less than 1 per 9 innings. Again, a foul ball down the right field side. And the fact that he has such good control, and he's not really, I would say, a hard thrower, not as hard as he did with the Yankees, but he has to really hit his spots and change speeds a little bit better. And that's what he's done so far in this ball game. Off the corner, ball and 2 strikes. Ellsbury 0 for 2 tonight. He's flying to left and grounded to short. Two and 2. Mentioned the Yankees just have 3 hits in the game. A-Rod with a single in the 1st inning. Teixeira with 2 hits. A single in the 1st and another base hit in the 4th. And that's been it for the Yankees. There are only 3 base runners of the game. Ball is looped towards the right side and hauled in by Dozier. Hughes got in on the hands of Ellsbury, and that's the first out here in the 6th. Here's Gardner. He's working on an 0 for 2. He's lined out to short and hit a hot smash back through the middle that somehow Phil Hughes got a glove on, made it look a lot easier than it was, and threw Gardner out. That was the final out of the 3rd inning. There's another hot smash. This one's by Dozier in the right field for a base hit. Yankees' 4th hit of the game. Brett Gardner has now reached safely in 25 consecutive games. That's a career high.
Well, he got robbed his last at bat, and he hits this one hard just out of the diving reach of Brian Dozier. Good bid, nothing to show for it.
Here's A-Rod. Looped a single into center field in the 1st inning, and then was called out on strikes in the 4th. That is the only strikeout of the night for Phil Hughes. First pitch hit in the air to center field. A little bit off the end of the bat as Hicks retreats. He's there, makes a catch, and that's out number 2. Just didn't have that sound coming off the bat. So Gardner remains at first, but now there's 2 outs. And it will bring up Mark Teixeira, who has 2 of the 4 Yankee hits. Hit hard right to Mauer as he makes the lunging catch for the out. And that will do it. Another hard hit ball by the Yankees. But this finds the glove of Joe Mauer. It's still 5-0. TV serves up real-time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players, live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.tv today. Bottom of the 6th. Fans enjoying the opening game of this 3-game series here in Minnesota. Trevor Plouffe takes a slider outside for ball 1. Plouffe is grounded to short, had a base hit, and scored in the 4th inning. Brandon Pinder is throwing in the Yankee bullpen. Tall right-hander. That pitch is in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Nobody has hit more home runs in the history of this stadium than Trevor Plouffe. He's got 43 of them here. Twins third baseman. That is low with the change, and it's 2-1. Plouffe, Rosario, and Hicks for the Twins here in the 6th. Twins 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Yankees no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Yankees have 4 singles tonight.
Well, Plouffe not just an offensive player, .980 fielding percentage. That's tops among third basemen in the major leagues. Getting it done on both sides of the ball.
Swing and a miss. Off speed pitch. 2-2. Yet another former first round pick for the Minnesota Twins in their lineup. Pineda deals, and it's low, ball 3, full count. Pineda's hung in there despite the fact the Yankees are down 5-0. It's just in this inning we've seen some action in the Yankee pen. Pitch count up to 87. Ball is lifted foul on the right field side. This will be a souvenir. Good Friday night crowd here in Minnesota. We were told it would be close to being a sellout. And from what I understand, it should be that way just about all weekend. It's not Kenny Chesney, but the Yankees are in town. 3-2 pitch, hit hard over the glove of Headley. This is headed for the left field corner. Plouffe rounding first. He's on his way to second, and he's on with a leadoff double. So Plouffe with the second hit. Sorry,
it's a slider again, Kenny. It's been a common theme all night. This has not been a good pitch for him. Trying to go down and away, and it just spins, sits right in the top of the zone, and Plouffe hammers it. Swinging the bat well lately, takes advantage of a mistake.
Plouffe's 24th double of the season. He's on at second with nobody out. The Twins threatening again. This time here in the 6th. Here's Eddie Rosario. He's had a couple of doubles in the game tonight. Scored 2 runs. Twins rookie left fielder. That catches the corner, strike 1. Rosario started the year in the minor leagues. The 0-1 pitch, and he did something that very few players have done in Major League history. First pitch he saw in the major leagues, he hit for a home run, and that was off Scott Kazmir. A lefty, no less. Oh, we got that too.
Oh, going oppo too, opposite field.
And his family was in attendance. A salute to his family, and watch this reaction to the dugout. Nobody congratulated him. So he was alone in his celebrating, at least for a little while. Now, I know you got to hit your first time up, but the first pitch I saw I took, which I thought was a ball, was called a strike.
I got some great advice before my first big league at bat by Gary Allenson, who was our third base coach. And he said, swing as hard as you can at the first pitch you see. Because you're going to be so nervous, just don't even worry about where it's at.
Ground ball to the sheriff on the play. Plouffe will move to third.
And I took his advice, swung as hard as I could, and fouled it right off my left ankle. First pitch I saw in the big leagues.
But I know later on in your bat you hit a double, right?
I hit a double later on, yeah.
And limped to second base with a smile.
Nobody could tell I was limping because that's usually how I ran. Cruised in with a stand-up double.
Well, the Yankees are going to bring the infield in for Aaron Hicks. Hicks does have a run batted in tonight. He had a sacrifice fly in the fourth inning. He has also popped out to short. So Plouffe is at third with one out. Joe Girardi near that top step of the dugout. Got Pinder all warmed up and ready to go in the Yankee bullpen. And Hicks takes pitch inside for ball one. You can imagine how Pineda feels. He was the only one to take a loss on the homestand. Only Yankee pitcher to lose a game. And on this particular night, he hasn't gotten much in the way of run support, but he hasn't been very sharp either. The 1-0 pitch, and Hicks takes, and it's ball 2-0.
It's like hitting instructors will tell you we never have all 9 guys swinging the bat well at the same time, and pitching coaches will say the same thing. 5 guys in a rotation. Tanaka was so good yesterday. He's been throwing the ball well lately. Sabathia's last one was good. Evaldi's been better, but Pineda kind of going through a little rough stretch here.
You know, there's always fires to be put out by the hitting coach and the pitching coach. Usually if you have 3 of your starters really rolling and the 2 are, you know, I wouldn't say question marks, but, you know, pitching.
Finding their way.
Yeah, finding their way. Your team's really rolling. That pitch misses.
I can see Pineda not happy with the strike zone the last couple of pitches. He's reacted. He thought he had some strikes. They were not called by Laz Diaz, home plate umpire. It's a slider. It's backdoor. Maybe around, maybe down. Good catch by Brian McCann, but no call.
See if Hicks gets the green light. 3-0 from Paul Molitor. He doesn't, and it's in there for a call strike. Suzuki's on deck. It's a 3-1 count on Aaron Hicks. Swings at this one. Ground ball to second. Drew checks the runner at third. Throws the first for the out. And Plouffe stays nailed down at third base. There are now 2 outs. So Pineda comes up with a pitch and prevents a run from scoring. But I think that's going to be his last pitch of the game. Joe Girardi's going to go to the bullpen. And a lot of it has to do with Suzuki's 2 for 2 and 2 runs batted in. So this call to the bullpen is a Verizon call to the bullpen by Joe Girardi. TriState.com. By People's United Bank NA, putting the power of know-how to work for you. And by your Torii Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Torii Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. Your sellout crowd here at Target Field in Minnesota. And most of the fans, of course, are happy. Their Twins are in front by a score of 5-0. The Yankees have gone to the bullpen. Braden Pinder will make his 10th appearance of the season. Tall right-hander. He's worked 11 innings, 10 hits, 7 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Made his 9th appearance yesterday and got the last out of the ball game in the Yankees' 9-3 victory over Baltimore. There's Michael Pineda. There are the numbers. 97 pitches. 8 hits, 5 runs. Didn't walk anybody, 4 strikeouts, but he trails 5-0 after he leaves. 5 2/3 innings. Pinder's first pitch outside to Suzuki for ball 1. Suzuki 2 hits off Pineda, both run scoring singles. There's a call strike, 1-1. I saw Pinder in the clubhouse before the game. You know, one of these youngsters you have to look up to. You know, I thought pretty tall at 6'4". He's up there.
He's got a big arm as well and a couple of good sliders there. To Suzuki, who's having quite a ball game. A couple of base hits, some RBIs.
Just off the corner. Two-one pitch hit on the ground slowly to the left side. Charging is Gregorius. Throws on the run. Gets his man. And that'll do it for Minnesota. They strand a runner at third base. Pinder gets the 3rd out of the inning. It's on to the 7th. Yankees trailing 5-0.
One-on-one interview with baseball super agent Scott Boras. Catch a new Forbes Sports Money tonight after the Yankees postgame, only on Yes. Phil Hughes back out for the 7th inning. So 6 innings of shutout baseball against the New York Yankees, only 4 hits against.
We talked about the fact he pitches to contact. He's only had 1 strikeout in the game. That was A-Rod in the 4th inning.
Face Brian McCann to lead off the 7th and quickly strike 1. Bryant a ground ball to first base, a fly ball to center field. Another strike from Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes quickly ahead 0-2 to Brian McCann. Brian only has 13 games against the Twins, a .250 hitter. Against Minnesota, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Swing and a miss there to start off the 7th inning for Phil Hughes. We're going to throw it to Jack Curry in our Yes Network studios. Well, thank you very much, Jack. We're never going to hear the end of that now. 1-0 as a manager. Congratulations, Paul. Now, my biggest question to Paul yesterday was whether he was going to bring a post-game spread to the minor leaguers, right? You go on a rehab assignment or something like that as a big leaguer. That's your responsibility. He knew nothing about that, Kenny.
Or didn't want to know anything about it.
He said he was never on a rehab assignment, so he didn't know anything about that. I said, bring your credit card, big boy. Splurge for a little nice meal for some of those kids.
Now, wasn't he a candidate for the Cincinnati job after Dusty Baker?
Rumored, yeah. Well, now if he ever gets interviewed, he can say, I'm 1-0. I'm undefeated as a manager. So congratulations, Paul.
All right. You can go back to golf tomorrow.
Check swing and a miss. Phil Hughes only had 1 strikeout before the 7th inning. Now he's got 2 in a row.
Yeah, I believe he got McCann on a changeup, and he gets Beltran on a changeup. You can see the spin and the fade. Beltran commits. He's gone.
The 86 pitches for Phil Hughes, so he's locked in tonight. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. It'll be Chase Headley. He's 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls to second base. He's quickly behind in the count again.
You can see Neil Allen's influence on Phil Hughes. Just not fastball after fastball. Like he's used a slow curve, the change up this inning. Fastball looks better.
You see the breakdown pitches by inning. With all the strikes that he throws, pitch count doesn't seem to get out of control. The Yankees had some hard hit balls early on and not a lot to show for it, but lately Phil Hughes settling in. 2 strikeouts here in the 7th.
Now Phil Hughes, talking about the contact balls in play, he averages just 14 pitches per inning, and I think he's had 2 16-pitch innings in this game, so he's about right on point. Few walks, not that many strikeouts.
It's a hard shot. It's going to be a base hit into right field with 2 outs to extend the 7th inning. First hit for Headley. Bring up D.D. Gregorius. He's 0 for 2 as well. A couple of ground balls to short. Batting average now under 240 at 239. Still no action in that Minnesota Twins bullpen. The 91 pitches for Hughes. First pitch swinging, foul ball.
Somebody in the Twins bullpen get some extra work in, some stretching.
Didi with 3 hits yesterday, nothing to show for it tonight. Ooh, hammers this one foul.
The Yankees must have hit 5 or 6 balls hard foul on the right field side. That was a tough play.
Phil Hughes has been ahead in the count the entire 7th inning. Struck out Brian McCann, struck out Carlos Beltran, base hit by Chase Headley. We have some action. Brian Dunsing.
See the bullpen coach right behind Dunsing?
The 0-2 slap the other way. Just in front of Rosario. It's going to be another 2-out base hit for the Yankees.
Right behind Dunsing is the new bullpen coach this year, Eddie Guardado, who in his day was known as Everyday Eddie Guardado. He came out of the bullpen just about every day to pitch for Minnesota. He appeared in more than half the games in 1993.
He was 45 saves in 2002.
Everyday Eddie. Left-handed reliever.
2 down would be Stephen Drew.
So the Twins were looking for a bullpen coach that feel comfortable out in the bullpen every day.
Well, it's a different game now, right? Relievers, starters are all protected a little bit with innings limit. And Eddie Guardado doesn't know anything about that. Just give me the ball. Headley off second, Gregorius off of first. Drew hits his ball hard. It's going to be in the right field. Torii Hunter comes up with it. Chase Headley's going to hold it third. And 3 consecutive 2-out base hits for the Yankees, trying to get something here with 2 down.
Well, Torii Hunter might be 40 years old, but he throws like he's still 25. Multiple Gold Glove winner. I think he won 8 in a row for these Twins as a center fielder. He charges this one well. And as he looks, he sees the third base coach, Joe Espada, hold up Headley at third. Still makes the accurate throw back to home plate. Here comes Paul Molitor.
We'll see what Paul Molitor is going to do here. Ellsbury, obviously a left-handed hitter. Dunsing, a left-handed pitcher, getting loose. 5-run lead. You know, Phil Hughes is saying, I can get him. Give me a shot. He'll get that shot.
Wow. Now he has the left-hander warming up Dunsing just for this. As Hughes with 2 outs has given up 3 straight hits after striking out the first 2 batters. And Molitor knows even a grand slam is not going to put the Yankees in the lead here, so he's going to let him pitch to Ellsbury.
Ellsbury 0 for 3. Had 3 hits yesterday. Home run, double, and a single. He's got a fly out, a ground ball, and a line out tonight. Batting average hovering just above 300. Does not have a grand slam in his career. No better time than this one to change that. But he hits this to left center field. Rosario comes in. So Paul Molitor, the manager, shows a little faith in Phil Hughes. He rewards him with an easy fly ball. 7th shutout for Phil Hughes. Which is brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. As Neil Allen breaking it down with Phil Hughes. Sano a 2-run home run. Suzuki, couple of RBI singles, and Phil Hughes, really the story of the ball game. 7 innings, 7 hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. As David Cohen just pointed out, Phil Hughes usually gives up some long balls. Nothing tonight. Limited the damage, throwing 7 shutout. Number 9 hitter Santana the bunt. Brian McCann with the play. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Santana trying to work his way on. Now 0 for 3. Nice play by McCann, bouncing out from behind home plate. Getting rid of the mask right away. Barehanding it before it went foul, and then throwing the runner out.
You know, Kenny, we got a little look there at Neil Allen, the pitching coach, talking with Phil Hughes and Suzuki in the dugout. And what a great conversation that must be after your manager shows a little faith. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and you get an easy fly ball to complete 7 shutout innings.
I think if it was 4-0, it might have been a different story, but it was 5-0. So, you know, even if Ellsbury connects for 1, gets the Yankees back in the game for sure, but it doesn't give them the lead.
I think we're all a little curious about Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer, and what type of manager he will be. And I think he just let us in there a little bit. He's showing a little faith and not managing by the book, so to speak. Lefty ready in the bullpen, lefty up at the plate. Has a feel for his pitcher and his players, and it worked out for him.
Well, we all know about the Twins' struggles the last few years, losing over 90 ball games. You know, Molitor's initial speech, the opening day of spring training, he told the team, I don't care what has happened here in the past. We start this season today. And as I said, the Twins are 7 games over 500 as they come into the game tonight.
Dozier ground ball to Gregorius. Nice easy hop. 2 quick outs. We're going to go back to Jack Curry in our Yes Network studio. Thanks, Jack. Our updated standings in the AL East. Yankees 5.5 up on the Blue Jays. The Rays, Orioles, and Red Sox round out the pack. Blue Jays are in Seattle tonight.
Jack said the Orioles have lost 15 out of 18. Something to that effect. Yeah. I think the Rays had lost 19. Well, they've won tonight, so they've lost 19 of their last 28. So that's why both of those teams have done the fade.
Torii Hunter hammers this one down the left field line. Does it have the distance? And it does. 15th home run of the year for Torii Hunter. 6-0 Minnesota Twins.
And with this home run, it's number 207 in his Twins career with the Minnesota Twins. And this ties Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett on the all-time Twins list. And it was a BB. Pinder gets one down and in, and Torii Hunter's seen that sort of stuff before. A line drive that couldn't be handled by a fan out there in left field. Number 15 on the season.
Torii Hunter continues to get it done. I think manager Paul Molitor knew that was a big home run that you mentioned, Kenny. Came out of the dugout to have a handshake with Torii Hunter, and a little message right there.
Well, the Twins made a decision to bring him back. His first 9 years with the Twins. Then he spent 5 years with the Angels. The last 2 with the Tigers. And now back to where it all started. And now he's tied with Kirby Puckett on the all-time Twins home run list. And there are fans that will tell you that Hunter's the most popular player in town.
Joe Mauer, the hometown hero.
Yeah, we mentioned Mauer, we mentioned Molitor from St. Paul. We should mention Dave Winfield from St. Paul. Another, how about that? 2 Hall of Famers from a town in the upper Midwest, where it's more, you're thinking indoor sports, of course, outdoor winter sports.
Joe Mauer in the driver's seat, 3-1 count. Good swing, fouls it off.
Another pretty good pitcher in the ballpark tonight from St. Paul. I know he was tough on me. Jack Morris.
Mauer drives one the other way. Brett Gardner is not going to be able to make the play over his head, and Joe Mauer goes into second base with a 2-out double. So Pinder got the first couple of outs relatively easily. A home run to Torii Hunter, and now a double to Joe Mauer.
Mauer's 20th double of the year, and during his career, he's always been one of the best hitters going the opposite way. He was that way at the Metrodome, and certainly he continues that type of hitting here in Minnesota. This is just a BB over the head of Brett Gardner in left field. And Gardner in the retrieve mode almost right away, gets it back in, holding Mauer to a 2-out double, and he's in scoring position for Sano.
Miguel Sano kind of set the tone for this ball game early in the first off of Pineda, a 2-run shot dead central, gave the Twins the lead, and they've been adding on ever since. 6-0 Twins. Pinder misses with his first pitch fastball.
Yeah, we talked about that home run in between innings, that the most impressive thing about that home run came on a 3-2 pitch, but there were some tough pitchers pitches made by Pineda, tough sliders to the corner, and Sano didn't even swing at him. He took him for strikes, got the count to 3-2, and got something he liked, and went straight away center. Pinder yet another hard throw out of the Yankee bullpen, 95 miles an hour.
Falling behind a little bit here in the 7th inning. Was behind in the count to Mauer, now behind in the count to Sano. Trevor Plouffe waiting on deck. Goes off speed for strike 1. We're going to look at the replay of Miguel Sano's swing. It's brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. That was a 2-run shot in the first inning for Sano. Get a 2-1 pitch from Pinder. Big swing and a miss.
Oh. That took some of the humid air out of the ballpark. You can feel the breeze up here. Whoosh.
Goes breaking ball again and picks up a strikeout of Sano. But Torii Hunter able to add on his 15th home run of the year. This one ties the great Kirby Puckett in Minnesota Twins history. Twins lead 6-0.
nice opener. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz has a reaction from the clubhouse. And Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. That's only on Yes. New pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. And it's going to be the left-hander who is warming up. It's Brian Dunsing. He will come in. And he will face Brett Gardner, Alex Rodriguez, and Mark Teixeira here in the 8th inning. 33rd appearance of the year. Having a pretty good year. 3-0. High ERA, 5.32 out of the bullpen. First pitch, call strike one. Gardner had a base hit his last time up. 1 for 3 on the night on our Hyundai scoreboard. 6-0 Minnesota. So Phil Hughes goes 7 innings, no runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. Gardner takes, and that misses. It's a ball and a strike.
Dunsing's ERA is not great, but his last 9 appearances, things have gotten a whole lot better. He's not given up any runs. Doing a better job against lefties. 1 for their last 15 against him is Chris Capuano getting loose.
1-2. Dunsing jumps ahead on the count. Dunsing is 4th on the all-time Twins appearance list with 332 outings. He trails the man we were talking about before, Everyday Eddie. Next pitch to Gardner. Breaking ball lifted in the air to left field. Rosario is there and makes the catch. There's 1 out here in the 8th inning. The Yankees trying to put a run on the board here. They trail 6-0. You hear the greeting for Alex Rodriguez as he comes to the plate. Pitch is hit on the ground, hit hard to short. Santana. Strong throw, and there are 2 outs. As I look through my stat pack here, the Yankees have only been shut out 3 times this year. That's tied with the Tigers for the fewest amount of times in the American League. So Dunsing picks up the first 2 outs here in the 8th. And it'll bring up Teixeira, who has 2 of the 7 Yankee hits. All the Yankee hits tonight have been singles. Pitch is fouled at the plate. So this singles night, if you will, is brought to you by the team that's 2nd in the league in home runs. Or make that 3rd in the league in home runs. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. 0-2. The Astros lead, followed by Toronto and then the Yankees. Blocked by Suzuki, pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2 on Teixeira. It's been a long time since I've been to a singles night.
I'm going to stay away from that one, Kenny.
Well, I would imagine you fall into the same category. That pitch is high and it's 2-2. The Sheriff fouls one near the plate. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Yankees have put 2 runners at third base tonight. Alex Rodriguez in the 1st inning and Chase Headley in the 7th. But that's as far as they got. 2-2 pitch again, and Teixeira fouls it back. It's coming our way. And not quite to the booth. Good effort, though, Flash.
Thank you.
And you can see the lady that got the ball. Hit on the ground, and a nice stop by Santana. The long throw is offline, and Teixeira is going to have his third hit of the night. So a 2-out single to keep the inning going. Ooh, one of the more famous games in Yankee history. Yankees and the Royals. This is George Brett with the home run off Goose Gossage. This is the Pine Tar game. Billy Martin protested. This is back in 1983, and Brett was called out for too much pine tar, and he was shot out of the cannon. It's Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, and it's a good thing that they were able to hold him back. He might have been suspended. George Brett. I think since then that rule has been amended, because you see a lot of pine tar in some bats.
The shot of him coming out of the dugout is one of the great replays ever.
That shot was camera shot was taken by Mike Masseri, who still works at Yankee Stadium. See Mike from time to time. Yeah, George Brett was a fiery player. I didn't know he was that fiery. Pitch is line, foul. That's about the third one for McCann tonight down the right field. I hadn't been able to keep it fair. He's 0 for 3. But George Brett was a player that even though he was an opponent, I enjoyed watching him play. I mean, he was that good. Low and away for a ball. There was a game in Baltimore where we had an opportunity to walk George Brett. Earl Weaver did, and it was a close game, and he didn't do it, and Brett drove in 2 runs with a double. At the end of the inning, all the team was on one end of the dugout, and Earl was at the other, Earl Weaver, and we were all yelling at him, "Are you trying to win this game?"
That's how much respect you guys had for Brett.
Well, we did. Yeah. Evidently he did in that particular time. Runners on the move. The pitch is fouled back on the 2-2 pitch. They're not holding Teixeira on, and he took off. So, you know, Earl yelled at us enough so we could yell at him. I mean, the whole team at one end of the dugout, he's down there by himself getting yelled at.
George Brett, one of the last guys to give 400 a bid, right?
Ooh, 1980, hit 390.
Can't even imagine.
No, I mean, he hit the ball hard from day one. Ooh. Pitch to McCann, and that is a ball. Teixeira on the move, and that's going to be a stolen base. The Twins did not hold him on as the count goes to 3-2. Teixeira picks up his second stolen base of the year. If you go in a situation like that, you better make it.
Actually surprised Suzuki makes this throw. You see, Mark doesn't get a great jump, but he has such a huge lead. Accurate throw, and he's in there for his second stolen base of the year.
I think Brett since then told me he was 4 hits away. 4 more hits, he would have hit 400. Full count now on Brian McCann with a runner in scoring position. The payoff pitch, and that is ball 4. He draws a walk. So after the first 2 Yankees were retired, you have a base hit and a walk to keep the inning going. That'll bring up the switch hitting Carlos Beltran.
Just think of that, Kenny. 390 when everybody is gunning for you or pitching around you, not giving in at all, and you still go out there and lay out 390.
I thought I had a good year, and I was how many points behind them? 86.
You did have a good year.
Yeah. Here's Carlos Beltran, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Beltran takes a strike. 2 on, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Yankees down by 6. Quiet offense tonight. They've had 8 singles. Ball hit on the ground to third. Plouffe has it, steps on the bag to force Teixeira, and that'll do it for the Yankees. They leave 2 more runners. We've played 7.5 here in Minnesota. It looks like Capuano's coming in the game. Here at Target Field, join Yes for pregame coverage starting at 6:30. And after the game on Pix 11, come back to Yankees Extra Innings. Then Sunday, catch complete coverage of the series finale starting at 1 right here on Yes. So tomorrow night on Pix 11 with the ball game and, of course, pre- and post-game coverage on Yes. And then Sunday we will close out this series here in Minnesota before the Yankees head to Texas. And the final game of the series is on Yes. New pitcher for the Yankees, Chris Capuano. And he is the 3rd Yankee pitcher of the night. Pineda started. Pinder in there for an inning in the 3rd. And now Chris Capuano to the hill. 15th appearance. 3 of those appearances have been starts. 0-4, 4.60 ERA. You can read the rest of the numbers. Capuano will face Trevor Plouffe, who's had a good night, a single and a double. 2 for 3, scored a run. First pitch, a little bit low for ball 1. Over the outside corner for a strike.
Kenny, I look out at that scoreboard. Houston beating Kansas City 4-0. Scott Kazmir, first game with the Astros. He's from Houston, so it's a little homecoming. Gotten off to a nice start tonight. But things are starting to break a little bit here with the trades. It's starting to happen now.
Well, we're getting closer and closer to the July 31st deadline. And of course, with so many teams, you know, with wild cards, that means a lot of teams still think they have a chance to make the playoffs. And can one deal mean the difference between being in the playoffs and not? High fly ball, deep left field. This one's gone. A home run for Trevor Plouffe. That is his 14th home run of the year. And that's as many as he hit all last year. So Plouffe with a long drive to left, and it's now 7-0 Minnesota.
Well, we mentioned earlier Plouffe, really the one guy in the lineup who's been swinging the bat since the All-Star break. You couldn't tell it tonight. The Twins have put 7 runs on the board. Hunter has had a home run. And this was a no-doubter. Will break a ball. It just spun in the middle. Plouffe gets that good extension out over the plate.
Number 14 for Plouffe. Here's Eddie Rosario. And to show you the difference that one player can make if you make the right deal. And I've got a primetime example. In 1982, we were making a race for the division. In those days, there was no wild card. This ball's hit in the air to left field. Chasing Gardner back. Still back. It's over his head. This ball one hops over the wall, and it's going to be a ground rule double for Rosario. In 1982, we were trying to chase down the Milwaukee Brewers. Paul Molitor was on the team. We finished the year 27-7. We played Milwaukee the last 4 games of the season in Baltimore. We had to win all 4 to win the division. We won the first 3 games. A player who they had picked up in the last month for the last stretch run, Don Sutton, a Hall of Fame pitcher, went 4-1 down the stretch, including beating us on the last day
game
to win the division for Milwaukee. Pitches in there for a call strike to Aaron Hicks. The switch hitter now batting right-handed. So if you get the right guy, and Milwaukee did by picking up Sutton.
Well, it sounds like in this division, the American League East, that the Blue Jays are trying to be aggressive, trying to bring in some pitching, see if they can get that done.
Swing and a miss on a change.
And the 3 games against Baltimore, the fact just kept coming up about how many free agents to be they have.
Yeah.
And now you wonder that they're kind of free falling a little bit. Do you try to regroup maybe and get rid of some of those free agents to be?
Well, they started tonight, 7 games back, and they already lost. So if the Yankees lose, they're still going to be 7.
Yeah.
Pitch is on the way, and it's knocked down by Brian McCann. So they are getting to that mode. They got some pretty big name guys on their team.
Sure.
Davis and Wieters and Wei-Yin Chen. Some pretty good players who can be free agents at the end of the year. Bud Norris, another one. Bud hasn't pitched all that well this year. Ball and 2 strikes on Hicks. Got a runner at second with nobody out here in the 8th inning. Twins have another run in and lead 7-0. Just missed the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Rosario at second with his 3rd double of the night. Another off-speed pitch knocked down by McCann. If he walks into a place after the game and said, "Make mine a double," you'll understand. His 10th, 11th, and 12th double of the year. Eddie Rosario. Now it's a full count on Aaron Hicks. And the payoff pitch. Hit on the ground towards the hole and on into left field for a base hit. They're waving Rosario home. Gardner will throw to second. It's now 8-0 Twins. So Aaron Hicks picks up his 2nd run batted in of the game. And the Twins have scored 2 more runs here in the 8th.
Well, everybody was talking about the Twins struggling to score runs after the All-Star break. Not a problem tonight. 8 runs to this point against Joe Girardi's club.
Well, he mentioned how much more effective they are in their home ballpark. Started tonight 31-16 here at Target Field. Lead this one 8-0 in the bottom of the 8th. They've now pounded out 13 hits. Here's Suzuki, who is 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. And he takes inside for a ball. Ball two. 2 balls and no strikes to Suzuki. Capuano's come on and give up 2 runs on 3 hits. Hit high in the air to center field. Just about in his tracks. Ellsbury puts it in his glove, and there's 1 out. Hicks back to first. Well, the Twins have done all the scoring tonight. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the seventh, and 2 more here in the eighth. Here's Danny Santana. Only 2 Twins players do not have hits, not invited to the party. Santana and Dozier, who's following him. Check swing, he went around. That is a strike. It appears that the Twins will be gaining ground tonight in the Central Division. They started the night 6.5 games behind the Royals, and the Royals are down 4-0 to Houston going into the bottom of the 9th in Kansas City. And with a big lead for the Twins here, both their opponents are running out of time. Should say Kansas City running out of time and the Yankees running out of time here. Fouled back by Santana. Flash, you were talking about the trade deadline, and I have a feeling, you know, there's always a lot of noise and sometimes virtually nothing happens. But with something happening this early, with a week to go, you got the feeling that there's going to be some activity.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are too many rumors out there, and you know, see the strikeout of Santana. Players listen to it, they hear it all the time, but when you keep hearing things, obviously there's some validity to it. So I think we're going to have one of these active trade deadlines.
Here's Brian Dozier, the only other Twin besides Santana to not have a hit tonight. He's 0 for 4. Grounded out, fouled out, struck out, and grounded out again. Two outs now, and Hicks at first base, not being held. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Good stop on an off-speed pitch in the dirt. McCann's had to make several stops on the off-speed pitches in the dirt in this inning. That is low. Different characteristics to different pitches in the dirt.
Well, obviously, you know, a guy like Capuano is going to be throwing a breaking ball. If you're Brian McCann, you're anticipating down and in on a righty or away to a lefty, so you can anticipate a little bit better. The changeup and the split, probably the two pitches that are the toughest ones to block.
Pitch on the way to Dozier, and he hits it high and deep to left field. When this lands, it's going to be his 21st home run of the year. It's all Minnesota tonight. It's 10-0 Twins.
Well, Chris Capuano having one of those outings. He doesn't have a feel for his breaking ball. He's behind the count. And he doesn't have enough on the fastball that he can just challenge some of these Twins hitters. Dozier with 21 home runs takes advantage in a 2-1 count.
So Dozier joins the hit parade
in a big way.
Now Santana, the only one that not invited to the party. Here's Torii Hunter, who homered his last time up. And a fastball is inside for ball one.
I was talking to hitting instructor for the Twins, Tom Brunansky, before the game, and I said, hey, Yankees coming off a good series against Baltimore, a sweep, and he said, you know what, this is good for our young team to see where we stand. Well, pretty good statement. 10 runs. Man's got to be happy.
Yeah, I was going to say, any hitting coach would smile when you got 10 runs and 14 hits on the board. Hunter's late, foul ball. Dozier, quite a player, all-star. Leads the league in extra base hits, 51 of them. One-two pitch on the way to Torii Hunter, and it's high, ball two. Hunter has a couple of hits, one of them a homer. He has scored a couple of runs tonight, driven in one. Full count. Years ago, the American Junior Olympic team featured Torii Hunter, Alex Rodriguez, and A.J. Hinch. The 3-2 pitch hit on the ground slowly to the left side for Headley. He throws the first, and that's it. But the Twins put 4 more runs on the board, including a couple of long home runs. At the end of 8, 10-0 Minnesota. Joe Girardi Show and get the skipper's take as the July 31st trade deadline approaches. Let's get the answers to your questions submitted via Twitter. It's all due Sunday at 6, only on Yes. Well, Joe, for the Yankees to pull this one out, is going to have to see a miracle inning. Something he would certainly talk about on the Joe Girardi Show.
Be happy to talk about it.
Yes, he would. Yankees are down 10-0. New pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, Casey Fiend, comes in, making his 30th appearance of the year. Twins up 10-0. Third pitcher of the night for Minnesota, and he's facing Chase Headley. First pitch is a little high for ball one. Headley had a hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. It's all Minnesota tonight, 10-0. Ground ball to the left side, and a good stop by Santana. The throw is in time. That's another area where it's been all Twins tonight. The Yankees have hit the ball hard, particularly early in the game, but they had nothing to show for it.
Well, Santana has had his share of problems at short, making 16 errors already, but not on this play. Showing some range, showing a strong arm. A lot to cheer about tonight for these Twins fans.
Here's Didi Gregorius. Yankees down to their last 2 outs. If they don't score, yeah, they will be shut out for the first time since June 25th at Houston. They lost 4-0 in that game. I believe it was Dallas Keuchel who started the All-Star game for the American League. They were also shut out May 31st, 3-0 at Oakland, and May 17th at Kansas City, 6-0. Fly ball, softly hit towards left field. Rosario will not get there, and it falls in, and now it gets by him. And Gregorius would get to second base. So Gregorius on with his second hit of the game.
Well, Didi with 3 hits yesterday. Now he follows it up with a 2-hit night. Doesn't hit it hard, but hits it in the right spot. He'll take it.
So he's in scoring position. And so far, no errors on the board. So it looks like that's going to be a straight double for Gregorius. No, it's going to be single E7. So give Rosario an error. Stephen Drew takes one in there for a call strike. So the error by Rosario allows Gregorius to get to second base. Drew's had a hit in 3 at bats. And that pitch is low and in the dirt. So one thing in common with all the well, just the 3 times the Yankees have been shut out this year, all 3 were on the road. Pitch is hit on the ground to the right side for a base hit. Espada's going to hold up Gregorius at third base as the new right fielder Robinson gets the ball in. Shane Robinson now playing right field in place of Torii Hunter. So the Yankees just 90 feet away with 1 out from preventing themselves from being shut out. Ellsbury is 0 for 4. And he'll take the first pitch from Fiend in their first strike. First and third, 1 out. Ball is popped foul and out of play. If you want to look at those 3 shutouts a little bit more, if you go geographically, all 3 of them west of the Mississippi. And we are just west of the Mississippi. We are just barely west of the Mississippi tonight. And the St. Paul's on the east side. And the M side is Minneapolis on the west side. And there it is. Ball hit in the air and hit deep to center field. Hicks going back, way back. He'll make the catch. Gregorius will tag. There'll be no shutout tonight. It's now a 10-1 ball game. Ellsbury with a long sacrifice fly, and the Yankees do score here in the 9th inning. So 2 down now to bring up Brett Gardner. For a minute, I thought that ball had a chance to get out.
Well, I was thinking the way the ball was carrying early that it might have had a shot.
Gardner's 1 for 4. He had a single in the 6th inning. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. So give Ellsbury his 15th run batted in of the season. 1-1 on Brett Gardner. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Nick, Kansas City has lost. They've lost to Houston by a score of 4-0. So Minnesota with a chance to gain a game in the Central. Pitch is fouled back. Yankees down to their last strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stephen Drew at first base. The Twins scored 2 runs in the 1st inning and were off and running. Way outside, and the count has gone full. This will start Drew up at first base. $34,334 fans as the pitch is fouled back. Many of them on their feet with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Once again, the 3-2 pitch, and is fouled off again by Brett Gardner. He's making Thiem work for this last out if he can get it. Pitch is hit the air to left field. This should do it. Rosario is there. He makes the catch. And the Minnesota Twins have taken the opening game of this 3-game series. A lopsided affair as Minnesota wins by a score of 10-1. So we'll be back here from Target Field to wrap things up as Paul Molitor sees his team win the opening game of this series 10-1.